Hey y'all! I hope y'all are having a great Monday. So I wanted to start this video off with kind of just cleansing the space, cleansing the energy. This is a lavender incense, and lavender is so calming, so peaceful. Okay? Because we're talking about keeping your composure. Your composure determines your outcome. Okay? That's literally what it is. Let me set this in this. Is it in there? Yeah, it's in there. And we're gonna do a little ring a ding ding with the bell. Okay, that just might be our new thing. To welcome in like calm, peaceful energy. That might be our new thing within the intros. Because that's been the message for me since I woke up. That has been the message for me since I woke up. Keep your composure. And honestly, this morning, the one thing that would have made me mad this morning was I made some tea because I woke up, my throat was like a little sore, and I was like, oh no, like I don't know what it is. I've been sleeping with the fan on and the air on for I don't know how long, but now all of a sudden it wanted to start acting up. Like my throat wanted to start acting up, and I was just like, not my camera tracking my cat, but I was like, no, I need to drink some tea. And it's funny because I have these self-care oracle cards, and I was like, oh, okay, what's some self-care things that I need to be focusing on today? And one of the things came out was tea, and I was like, oh, okay, I was already on the right track. But I made my tea, it was real good, and I wanted to do some journaling, and I set it on some books because I wanted it to be next to my bed, so I set it on some books. And mind you, my mattress is on the floor. I kind of like it on the floor. I don't know why, but it's on the floor. And so I just had it on some books next to my bed, and my cats came out of nowhere and knocked my tea over. And I was my first reaction was to yell and be like, are you kidding me? And but then I was like, I took a deep breath. I said, it ain't even nothing to be mad about. I was like, you know what? They didn't know. Like, how could they know? They're cats. And I was like, keep your composure. Keep your composure. Because if you get angry and you let this anger take you over, you're going to be upset for the rest of the day probably. Off of this small situation. I was frustrated. Especially when I was cleaning my tea up off the carpets. Mind you, I don't have wooden floors. It's carpet. I was a little frustrated, but you know what? Took some breaths, cleaned it up, and then I was like, you know what? In order to get my mind off of how frustrated I'm feeling, let me do something else. I made me another cup of tea, but I was like, let me do something else. So I decided to clean. I decided to do some yoga. I decided to journal. So I decided to meditate. So yeah, I got right back centered. I even took a nap. Now that was just part of my everyday activities for my wellness, but like those things helped recenter me and like get my mind off of the frustration. But then as I was meditating, or as I was trying to take a nap, or just even doing yoga, I kept hearing in my head was what song is that? I think it's We Not Humping remix by Mana Leo and Flo Milli. I was like, what's her name? Yeah. And then in a part, Mana Leo, she was like, what'd she say? I don't know. All I can hear is I lose my composure. And I was like, oh no, we can't lose our composure. Like I just kept hearing that little part that she said. She's like, I lose my composure. And I was like, no, I'm not about to lose my composure over something so small. Or even I'm not about to lose my composure and get myself derailed from my journey because of outside interferences. And that's the message I want to pass on to y'all. 5'11", as I said. Do not lose your composure because of outside influences. Whether that's your finances aren't aligned the way you want them to be, the job you're in currently and the coworkers you're working with are stressing you out, family members are stressing you out, your partner stressing you out, your children stressing you out, or things happen and it just your first reaction is to get upset. Do not lose your composure, because I think that's just an attack, like an energetic attack on people that are on their path, know their purpose, and trying to do good in their life in order to spread goodness among others. I feel like that's the common attack of whether, okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm the type of person, yes, I believe in manifestation. Yes, I believe in magic. I believe in stuff like that. And when I say magic, I don't mean just like kitchen magic or stuff like that. I think the universe itself, the earth itself, is literal magic. You cannot explain half the things that happen. Like nobody, I'm pretty sure you could scientifically explain it or whatever. Like the recently there was the what are they called? They're called the Northern Lights, but they're called something else. I don't know the scientific name, but usually the Northern Lights are in Alaska, but they were seen in other parts of the country. Like I stay in Memphis, they were seen here in Memphis. I didn't see it. I saw pictures of it. I really hate that I missed it, but I'm like, what? I've never seen that. As long as I've been here, and I've been here for 27 years, as long as I've been alive, that has never been a thing. As far as I know, that has never been a thing. And I'm just like, that's very magical. It is very magical. Or even like miracles, when things happen like miracles and people be like, yeah, that's God blessing me. Yeah, it could be God blessing you, but it's also just pure magic. You can't explain it. So I do believe in magic. I do believe people can manipulate magic, because magic is, can practice magic and manipulate energy, because energy is literally, magic is literally just energy, manipulating energy. And everything is energy. And so when you're doing things and you feel like, yeah, I'm on the right path, I got my purpose locked down, and you're manifesting all these things, right before you have that breakthrough of receiving all that you're manifesting, or even seeing it come to fruition in the 3D, because it has to happen in the 5D. It has to come to you in the 5D. You have to feel that abundance in the 5D in order for it to trickle down into the 3D. You have to, right before you cross that threshold, there's always going to be lurkers of like, I'm trying to get her or get them off their path so they don't receive it. There's always going to be people that don't want to see you do better than them. There's always going to be people that just are so miserable. They just like, yeah, if you can bring this forth in your life, I don't like that. I don't have that. I can't bring that forth in my life. So I'ma just, throw the evil eye. I'ma go in my kitchen, concoct me some stuff, or pay a practitioner to do this stuff and to get you derailed. And they're doing that because they want to see you sweat. And I know we've all seen that video of Rihanna where she's like, don't ever let them see you sweat. Literally, don't ever let them see you sweat, because that's what they want you to do. Because once you lose your composure, once you lose your peace, and you're not grounded within yourself or within your purpose, and you don't trust the process anymore, that's when you start making mistakes. Or that's when you decide to just completely walk away. You trash your blessing before it even came in. And it's like, you was right there. You was right there. Like, why? The heavens cry when you give up on your dream or your passion right before you receive it, just because it got a little tough, it got a little challenging. I promise you, when you stick stuff out like that, not only does it make you stronger than whoever, whatever was trying to derail you in the first place, it just overall makes you feel more confident within yourself, and it makes you trust yourself more, and it makes you trust the divine more. I promise you it does. I'm in that process now where I'm like, things are closing in on me, or I feel like if it's not closing in on me because it can't reach me, it's closing in on people around me. And since they're connected to me, it's trying to find a way to get to me. And I'm like, I have to keep my composure. I have to do my meditation. I have to do my yoga, and I have to center myself. I have to connect with my emotions and be like, okay, well, why am I feeling like this? Or if I can't explain why I'm feeling like this, because I am a very empathic person, very empathic. I can pick up energies of people like that. Like, that's something I've actually been told in the past when it came to friendships and stuff. If I meet somebody for the first time, I already know if I'm gonna click with you or not. Like, I already made up my mind about it, because it's like, whether how you greeted me or how you kind of interacted within the conversation, I already kind of know. And I'd be like, yeah, I caught that person's energy before anybody else who's probably been friends or been acquainted with this person longer has even caught. And I'm like, you could be cool with them, but they ain't my cup of tea. I've always been very spot on about catching people's energy. And I feel like if you know, okay, something's not good for you, or you kind of just know yourself, and you be like, okay, well, I know I get upset, or I know, like, if I'm around this person, they're gonna trigger me, or your triggers, if somebody brings up a certain topic, it's going to trigger you. You need to have tools under your belt that ground you. You need to know how can you handle that. You need to be able to transmute it. If you can't transmute it, you need to find a way to protect yourself better. And I'm pretty good at transmuting energy. As a creative, I feel like if you're a creative in general, I feel like you're a very great transmuter. I'm very good at transmuting energy that's thrown at me. I wasn't always like that. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't always like that. There was a time where I would lose my shit, and I would go off on the deep end, and people would be like, see, I told you she was crazy. See, I told you she was toxic. See, I told you she was the problem. Like, did you not see how she reacted to this? I didn't even do anything. Or she just came up here unprovoked. And it's like, when you're on the outside looking in and you don't know the whole story, you don't know that, like, okay, the person that's been triggering me, or this situation that's been triggering me, I've been taking blows and blows and blows, and I've been, just doing the best I could with what was being thrown at me. And now I wasn't transmuting it properly. I wasn't releasing it out of my emotional auric field, or I wasn't releasing it out my body. I was just holding it all in. And like a dam, like, you can build a dam, like a dam out of like sticks and stuff, like a beaver would. But if there's a huge flood of water coming in because of a storm or a hurricane or something, that dam is going to get knocked over. There needs to be reinforcements. There needs to be a way that you're taking in that energy that you're receiving, that negative energy that you're receiving, and you need to be able to properly transmute it out of your body. Like, to get it out of your physical vessel, move your body, dance, go running, go play a sport, do some yoga, go to the gym, do whatever. Move your body to get it out that to get out that aggression, or to get out that sadness, or to get out that pain. It has to be released, because if it's not released, it's just going to keep building up. Same way with your emotions. I am a huge advocate for crying. I love to cry. I love to cry. I've been a crier since I was young. Okay, like, if it jerks at my emotions, I'm going to cry, and I'm not going to hold back. I remember as a child, I would cry watching the Cheetah Girls. I would cry watching High School Musical. Like, when Troy and Gabriella broke up, I was crying. I was boo-hooing. And people was just like, what are you doing? And I'm like, it's sad. They broken up. Like, and they're singing and they're talking about how they're so sad. I feel that. I understand that. I'm sad. I'm gonna cry. Just talking about it, I feel it. Just talking about it, I feel the tears in my eyes. And I'm like, And I have no problem crying. I remember there was a stint in my life when I would just like act out in my anger and my rage. I would hold back my tears as much as I could, because I felt like that invalidated what I was trying to say to people that was literally just causing harm and chaos in my life anyway. They're like, you're so emotional, I didn't even do this. I'm like, I'm getting emotional because I'm trying to explain why I'm upset, why I'm angry, and you're not hearing me. Or it's not that you're not hearing me, you're choosing to not understand what I'm saying, because that's your form of manipulation. That's what it was. And then it had to be to the point where it's just like, you know what? I'm going to stop giving you my time and my energy. And I'm going to pull myself back. And I'm going to try to find ways in order to cope with what I have going on within myself. And I'm going to deal with those things. And that way, next time when you come and try to throw the same little tricks at me, the same little manipulation tactics at me, whether you're trying to gaslight me or whatever, it's not going to hit. It's not going to stick, because I know my truth. The universe know my truth. God know my truth. I don't care what you have to say about me. I don't care what type of light you're trying to paint me in. I could be the villain in your story. I don't care. Villains are very fabulous. I could be the villain in your story. That's fine. That's okay. I'm not that person that you think I am. You don't know me. That's the narrative you have to tell yourself. When you're caught in situations like that and people are trying to make you out to be the bad person, and they're trying to make you lose your shit, and they be like, yeah, see, I told you. You have to just accept the fact that, like, yeah, I'm just going to be the villain in your story, and you know what, that's fine, because villains are badass. I don't care. I literally don't care. And people be like, they will try to flip that on you. Oh, so you don't care, and I'm trying to fix this with you. No, you're not trying to fix this with me, because if you was, you wouldn't be trying to trigger me. You would be trying to sit down and have a civilized conversation with me. You would be trying to understand me. But there is no type of understanding going here. And I'm tired of trying to understand you when you're not even trying to give me the same grace. You're not even trying to give me the same opportunity. So I don't know what you personally have to do in order to make sure you don't lose your cool. But you need to make sure, especially if you're trying to manifest a great abundant life for yourself and for your future generations, or just trying to do amazing things for the world, you need to make sure you have your composure in check. You cannot let the little things, the naysayers, the shit talkers, the people that throw rocks and hide their hands like, oh, who did that, and trying to help you find the person that threw the rock knowing they threw the rock themselves, you cannot let them people get to you. Because the moment you do, the moment you let that little devilish energy inside of your field and get you derailed off your track, you will miss your blessing. And I don't want none of y'all who are watching me, I don't want y'all to miss y'all blessings. I really don't. I want y'all to succeed. I want y'all to do the biggest, greatest, amazing things out here in the world, because that helps all of us. We're all connected. That helps all of us. You can help one person. It don't even matter. You can help one person in your whole life, and that one person could go on and help 5 people. Those 5 people go on and help 20 people. Those 20 people go on to help 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. You don't know. Like, I finished The Fall of the House of Usher on Netflix. And I'm kind of sad that I finished it, because it was such a good series. But I don't want to give away too much, just in case you decide you want to watch it. But it's been out for a while. I'm late to the game, so. But the antagonist, she was basically talking to a individual who was a part of the House of Usher, who was innocent, but they still had to pay the price of all the people that was in their bloodline doing evil. They still had to pay the price. But the antagonist was just like, I don't enjoy this part of my job. This doesn't bring me joy at all. But I want you to know that decision you made in order to, I'm not gonna give too much detail, but in order to like save a certain person, that led into that dominoed into that person helping thousands, millions of people. And the antagonist was like, I want to let you know that decision you made, that one small decision you made, that made a big impact. And when I tell you, I wanted to cry, because in my head, I just really thought this character was going to make it. I thought this character was going to be the only person out. But then I was like, no, it's a bloodline curse. And you're a part of the bloodline. You have to go. But they still did amazing things just because of that one decision they decided to do. So whether it's a decision of you decided to smile at somebody today and they was having a really bad day, and you decided to ask them, hey, are you okay? How are you? You decided to stop and have a conversation with them, and they was having a really bad day. You don't know what that person was going to do. They could have decided to end it all that day, but because you decided to be kind and you decided to actually talk to that person, they decided against that. You just saved a life. And then that person went on to tell their story, and they just saved 10,000 more lives because some other people decided to listen to their story. You need to learn how to keep your composure, not to let nobody see you sweat, because it's just like, I have this calendar right here, and it's a Hello Kitty and Friends calendar. And for the month of May, we have Karopi, a cute little frog. He's the face of the May. And we all know you could boil frogs alive and they won't jump out, because if you put them in a pot and you just slowly increase the temperature, their body regulates that, and then they just stay there. And so you need to think of it as, I'm not saying you're gonna get boiled alive. We're not doing that. But you need to think of it as the enemy, whoever it is in your life, or the energy, the negative energy that's trying to get you off your track. They're putting you in this kitchen, and then they're turning up the heat because they're trying to sweat you out the kitchen. They're trying to run you out the kitchen. It's all an illusion. It's all a projected illusion. You need to be able to take deep breaths, let it out, and stay in the kitchen. And I promise you, the longer you do that, it's gonna make that energy mad. It's gonna make that energy mad, because it's gonna be like, why is 2444, as I said that? It's gonna make them mad, because it's gonna be like, why is it not working? Why is what I'm doing or what I'm throwing at them or projecting to them, why is it not hitting? Why are they not sweating? Why? Or even if you are starting to sweat, you starting to glisten, okay? Because look, we don't sweat over here, we glisten. If you're starting to glisten, and I'm like, okay, I see they're glistening, but why aren't they like, ooh, why aren't they freaking out? Because I could take the heat. I could stand the heat. That's fine. Baby, I have a lot of Mars energy in my chart. I could take the heat at this point. At this point, I could take it. So what you're doing is not going to work. And when they get upset because they know what they're doing is not working, that's when they start making mistakes. That's when their mask starts to fall, because they're freaking out. They're losing their composure because you're keeping yours. And you're keeping your composure because you're on the right side of things. You're doing things authentically. You're doing things honestly. You're keeping your nose clean. But they're not. They're playing dirty. And so when you're playing dirty, you have to keep up with lies. You have to keep up with this mask that you're wearing. You have to keep up with this facade. But when pressure starts to be applied to people who are doing that, that's when people start running around like chickens with their heads cut off, because they're not understanding why you're not folding. And it's like, I'm not folding because I have faith in myself. I trust myself. I know this is just a challenge, an obstacle I need to get through. And you're not gonna derail me from what I was promised. I hate to break it to you, it's just not going to happen. So what also came to mind was this is actually kind of funny. Victorious, that show that was on Nickelodeon, and there was an episode where they were trapped in this RV and it was hot. And I remember they had a conversation to Jade. She's one of the characters. And the conversation was, she doesn't sweat. And she did it. Like, even when they was like hot and they was like complaining, she wasn't sweating until like the very end. And then that's when she was like freaking out. She was like, oh my God, I'm sweating. Oh my God. And she was literally freaking out. Like, you lost your composure. You got so hot in this dang RV, you lost your cool. You can't be like that. You have to, it's like a game of poker. Put on your best poker face. And when I say, it's not that you're bluffing. Like, the person, the energy that's trying to get you off track, they're bluffing. They got on a good poker face. You think they're calm, cool, and collected. And you think they're winning over you. But they're bluffing the whole time. So call them out on their bluff. I love that. I love that. I love to call people out on their bluffs. Like, when people try to threaten me and be like, oh, if you don't do this, I'm gonna do this. Maybe, you know what? You don't even gotta do it. I'll do it for you. I don't care. I don't care. You cannot make me care. like I don't care. I don't care how it makes me look. I don't care how outside people are going to perceive me because I decide to air my dirty laundry out before you did. I don't care. That's how you have to act. You have to act like you don't care. Even if there is a small part of you that care, that's when you need to go in and do your shadow work, your inner work, and ask yourself, well, why do I care? Like, there was a time where I would care a lot. And I would try to so hard keep up with this game. And that's when I realized I was caring so much because I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want people to perceive me. I didn't. No. And it's like, now I don't care. I've been through so much. I literally made myself look crazy in front of a whole collective of people. And I'm sure my name has been drugged plenty of times off of that one act, that one instance, the one time I let my composure go. And mind you, I wasn't in a clear headspace. I really wasn't. I was under the influence. I guarded before I even partaked in that activity that made me look that way. And now it's just like, okay, well, it was out there. I'm already getting called crazy. I'm already getting called toxic. I'm already having people looking at me being like, yeah, she's the issue. She's the issue. What else can I lose at this point? What else can I lose? And the answer is nothing. So that's when you have to realize, like, little things like that, you have to be able to own your shit. When the light comes on, you need to be able to own your shit. And when you can own it, people don't have nothing to hold over you. And so there is no way for them to be like, well, I can hold this over your head. You don't have to hold it over my head. I could just throw it out there. What you got now? Oh, she big, she bold, she brave. So you know what? I'm gonna throw a little something. That's fine. I could transmute that. I have art. I have physical exercise. I have my health. Thank you that I have my health, that I can just go out and do physical exercise to get it out my body, or I could cry it out. What else you got? Oh, she handled that. Let me attack her finances. That's fine. Attack my finances. My finances don't make me abundant. My finances don't make me wealthy. That's very, if you think money makes you abundant or wealthy, it don't. You could have all the money in the world and still be miserable. You could have all the money and power in the world and still be empty on the inside. What makes me abundant and what makes me wealthy is what's on the inside, what's in this heart. That's what makes me abundant, and that's what makes me wealthy. What's in this heart and what's in this mind. You can't take that. I could be a prisoner locked up in jail for the rest of my life, and I'll be the happiest prisoner, because you know what? I'm happy in here. I'm happy in here. You can't take that away. You can kill me, okay, but I die a happy person. If it's my time, it's my time. But you cannot take away something that was cultivated with love and faith and trust. That's literally the best foundation. See, I'm gonna leave y'all on that note. I hope y'all take the gems that I left in this video, and I hope y'all come up with tools that will help you keep your composure in times of where things are just seeming so rough. Do not let the enemy see you sweat. Do not. And do not let that one rash decision ruin your life. Even if you get derailed, you better make that derailment work in your favor. You better learn how to transmute it. You better learn how to transmute it. I did. I'm here today and I'm happy. You better learn. So yeah. Bye, y'all.